Hello guys, what's poppin' y'all? Today we are solving rotating an array question. We are given an array and we are required to rotate the array by d elements where d is smaller than the array size. So as we can see, the given input, given d is 2. So the elements are moving towards the left. So if you can see, the 3 is moving to the index 0 from where it was previously in index 2. Similar way, all the elements are moving and we get the output. This question we are solving in two different ways. So let us start coding the first method. We are initializing a variable n to store the length of the array, which will be useful when we are initializing a for loop. Then to handle when d is greater than n, that is the length of the array, we are doing d mod of n and storing it as d. And then we are initializing a temporary array, and then we are starting the for loop to traverse throughout the array. That is subtracting the array length by d and traversing through all the elements. So that is why I am using n minus d here. So we can append the values that is shifted by the range of d and store it in the temporary array. And then in the next for loop, I am initializing it to traverse throughout the remainder of the elements in the array, and then we are appending it inside the temporary array so that it is shifted towards the right by d elements. That is, the remainder of the elements go in the end of the array. So since the driver code accepts the output only in the form of arr, we are copying all the values from temp to arr. That is why I am using arr equals to temp. So the code should run now. What's the problem? Oh, okay, I have not initialized the elements. I have just initialized the index, so now it should work. Yeah, it is working, as you can see. Now if we submit, let us take a look at the time taken to run this code. Obviously this code runs in a lesser time complexity, that is 0.9, but let us just take a look at the other method just for the intuition of it. Let us take the input array that has been given here and d is equal to 2. What we are essentially going to do here is reverse the array in 3 different parts. So if we reverse the first 2 elements given here, because d is 2, it is minus 2 and 1, and the next remaining elements, that is 7, 6, 5, 4, minus 3, we get an array. And then if we reverse it again, that is minus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 1 and 2. If we go back to the question and see here, we get the answer same as what we have written on the whiteboard. Now let us copy this to compare side by side. So here we go, let me change the color. Yeah, so it matches line by line. So intuitively what we are doing is reversing the array separately 3 different times. Now let us try and write the code for this. I will erase till d is equals to d mod of n. I accidentally erased it, but yeah, because we need it anyways, because to avoid the d greater than n error. So now I will initialize a new function called reverse that has 2 variables, l parameters, l comma r, which is left and right. Now in the while loop, as long as l is smaller than r, we keep swapping it, that is we keep reversing it. So if left is first and right is second, it becomes right first and left second. So essentially we are just reversing 2 elements. Then we increment and decrement l and r respectively. Now when we apply the reverse function to our array, first we are calling the function to reverse the values from 0 to d minus 1. D minus 1 is not inclusive and d minus 1 is inclusive, and then reverse of d comma n minus 1, and then we are reversing the entire array in the final statement, reverse of 0 comma n minus 1. What is the error here? Oh, the indentation problem reverse. Let me just change that. Yeah, now it should run correctly. Yeah, we got the answer. Now let us look at the time taken to run this. Well, when we compare space complexity, obviously this has lesser space complexity than the previous one. So you can prefer either one. That's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye bye.